Happy Sunday. How are you? I really love Sunday for more than one reason. Of course, for my faith, this special, special, special day of the week. Every day of the week is special. There's something extraordinarily special for Sunday. Hi, I'm Jan. Welcome to another episode on the Save Money and More with Jan channel. This is kind of like an and more kind of topic. It's the weekend. So sometimes I like to maybe step a second or two away from saving money. But sometimes at the end of the show, it all turns out that we do end up saving money. But there is a component of saving money. The price of beef is really getting from the sublime to the ridiculous, depends on your location, depends on the cut. I am curious to know, and you can let me know this in the comment section below. If you enjoy beef, how are you coping with this? Could be very important for other viewers or listeners. How are you coping with the extraordinary high prices of beef? I heard a person say on a different video somewhere else that literally they saw a beef, the same item go up $2. It was a beef item. It went up $2 a week later. 1 week later. That is scary for people who have larger families. I mean, how are you guys coping with the increased beef prices? Are you still eating beef, or are you just doing different things with your meals? Or I'll tell you what's always a good budget stretcher. If you love beef, you don't want it, you're not ready to quite give it up yet, okay? And I get that. If you work with ground beef, okay, some people say, oh no, not ground beef. If you work with ground beef, it gives one a lot of options, anywhere from meatloaf, meatballs, used as a part of a stew, a gravy, chili, sloppy joes. There are so many different meals one can make out of the ground beef, and of course, the bird clock. Hi, bird clock. Hey, Linda. But it does take one aback a little bit, the price of beef if you enjoy it, okay? I also work with ground turkey, doesn't necessarily go over big with everyone, but I like it. So recently I made a turkey meatloaf. It was TDF to die for. It was really, really good. And I like to use an ingredient, a little small can of tomato sauce when I'm making the meatloaf mixture. I put my other stuff together, throw it in the oven for like 41 minutes at 350. For me, this works in my oven. That's the temperature that works. I could get meatloaf sandwiches. I could just have it sliced up with a potato and a green next to it. And the struggle is real. Okay. This is not a fake thing. The struggle of planning good meals with some of the prices, even though some people say, hey, everything's so great, yippee, yahoo. Okay. But when I'm in, the grocery store and the numbers come up, really? Really? So I got a good deal the other day on chicken drumsticks, and I was able to get 4 pounds. That's a lot. 4 pounds of chicken drumsticks, and they were sizable. 4 pounds of chicken drumsticks for only $6.99 for the whole pack. Now, some people might say, gee, Jan, that's a lot. It depends on your area too. But I could get so many meals from that 4 pounds of chicken drumsticks. And I'm not going to spend $4.50 just to put that rub that years ago had a bag that you would shake. I'll tell you one thing good. It did teach a great method that you could make a rub and, put a bag and shake your chicken, pork, or whatever it is that you're shaking in there and toss it in the oven. It is a great concept, and I am forever grateful. And the stuff itself tastes great. But there's nothing about it that can't really be duplicated. I even gave like kind of sort of like my take on a recipe about it the other day on a recent video. Excuse my cough. But yeah, How are you coping with the higher prices of food? What about things that help a meal stretch? Things like potatoes, things like rice, things like noodles. Have those levels, price levels remain the same? Do you see an increase or you're just eliminating them? It would be a mistake to completely eliminate those items, in my opinion, because they're stretchers. They're like meal stretchers, budget stretchers, whatever, you know? And we also really need to get used to the idea of knowing a way with bread substitutes. What's a bread substitute? Rice on the side, noodles on the side, potatoes on the side, starches on the side. Because some people are quite used to having bread every single time with their meal. I can't say that I am. Like some meals, maybe, but not all the time. Not all the time. And I'm not suggesting run out and buy a bread machine. Well, if you could get one like at a garage sale on the cheap and you enjoy that and you use it, great. Nothing wrong with that. How many of you out there have a bread machine? Let me know in the comments section below. And also, more importantly, let me know in the comments section below, for example, did it come to the rescue, or is this is something you enjoy doing? I saw a loaf of regular sliced bread. Well, there's a company, it's supposed to be a little more artisan and a little more fancy, but that loaf of sliced bread was teetering about 7.99 to 8 something, $8 and something cents. We're talking about sliced bread here. Sliced bread, a basic staple. People that have kids or even just for yourself, you know. So I said, okay. So then I said, but there's something I enjoy around this time of year. Don't ask me why. There are two things I always seem to get a hankering for every single early fall. Anybody out there get certain cravings for certain foods at certain times of the year? I always seem to want raisin toast. It's either raisin toast or raisin bread or raisin bread pudding, which you make from the raisin bread, like if you don't use it up fast enough. But that's never an issue in my house because raisin bread gets used up. How many of you like raisin bagels and stuff of that nature? Years ago, there was a company. This here's the second craving: corn muffins. Good old corn muffins. Okay, just like you could easily whip up cornbread, corn muffins. These are easy to make things to whip up and to have. And I don't know what it is. Maybe because of a little nip in the air, maybe want a little melty butter, you know. And that does me just fine because I like having, I like to make it in the shape of a loaf, like a loaf pan, like cornbread or any of those breads, because I could slice it down and I know predictably, for example, let's say I make a banana bread, banana walnut bread, which is to me feels almost like you're cheating because it's so delicious, right? But a slice of hearty banana walnut bread, and then you can retoast it with a little smidge of butter on it, a little melty like that, with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee for a fast breakfast when you're on the go. We got a lot scheduled that day. You're not in the mood of, pans and pots and clean up. Having that bread ready, you can make them on the weekend easily. I see those muffins, for example, a banana muffin or blueberry muffin outside for like $3.50, $4. Yeah, they're massive. Yeah, they're big, but they're not as good as the kind you can make from scratch. You know, that fresh taste that you get, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. I'm just curious to know, is there anybody out there that craves certain things? Like for example, I might like a toasted bagel with cream cheese on it. Let's say around this time of the year. I like it any time of the year, but certain times of the year, I may look for a little more, especially like when you get creative with the cream cheese and you chop some walnuts and throw in some raisins and maybe add a pinch of sugar and cinnamon. Yum, 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 and yum. You could make so many different things with the cream cheese. I don't even know how I got to this subject, but the prices are high. It is real. It's not just like something you hear about. No, the prices are high. How are we coping with this? And we just have to. But using our frugal muscles, I'll give you an example. I like to get a breakfast that's interchangeable. What do you mean by that, Jan? Well, a dozen eggs, whatever the price is, you could still get many, many meals out of that one box. One time you can make an omelet. Another time you can make deviled eggs. Another time you'll use it as an ingredient in a recipe. It is multi use. That is a multi use item. Okay. Waffles. I just don't have like, okay, I'll just toast up a waffle, put syrup on it, and I'm done. No. Sometimes I like to maybe toast up a waffle, okay, and just add like some powdered sugar on the top with a pinch of butter. It tastes almost like something from a festival. If you just put some powdered sugar on top of a waffle, it's really, really good. You'd be shocked and amazed. Or, for example, if I get like a kielbasa sausage or if I get some hot dogs, I'll chop it up, I'll cook it up, but I could throw it into so many things, including different sauces. And it's really, really good. Interchangeable ingredients. If you could get those items when they are on sale, you're ahead of the game. The other thing, let's say it's a Sunday, you have some time, you want to watch the game, whatever the game is, or a movie, and you are home, turn on those slow cookers. You don't have to just have one slow cooker going. You could batch cook so easily. I know I've mentioned this on previous videos, but for the person that didn't hear the video, I'd like to, remind. You could get two different easy to do dump and go recipes, two separate meal, like bunches of it, and then you pack them up and then you freeze them up. Because nothing is nicer than having a home cooked meal ready to go and all you're doing is heating it up. Cut yourself a piece of that banana bread or crusty bread or whatever, your little hot meal to go on the cheap. Hey, there's nothing better than that. And you know what's in it. We have to find ways to cope with rising prices. We have to create stretcher meals, meals that stretch, and try to stay away from single serve expensive frozen meals done up at the grocery store. I'm not saying never ever have that. Keep one or two as a treat. I look at them as a treat. And they're finding out, this is interesting, that more and more people, because they're cutting down on going to the fast food places, they're buying more of those convenience foods. You watch, in my opinion, the prices are going to go up on those. If they're not high enough already, they just may. So these are things to keep in mind. Watch videos with tons of information. Continue your stockpile. And if you haven't done it yet, start one. Like I said on yesterday's video, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's coming up soon. But I just feel some sort of a change. I don't know why I feel this way either. I just feel some sort of an unthinkable, possible change could happen. Why not be ready and have your grocery stockpile? And also to hone up our special skills as the CEOs of our own kitchens. Okay. We control the purse strings, we control the wallet. I'm just saying we have to do our very best. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everybody's time. Please don't forget to click like. It helps the channel out. Possibly share it and consider subscribing. More than that, I can't ask for. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget that every single day I have a no frills video at midnight. It's an audio show 9 out of 10 times. Sometimes it could be with me on camera. It's 5 minutes or less, Monday through Friday. But if you like longer form content, that is more than likely an audio. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern. Great time to kick back with a cup of tea if you have a minute or two. Just play it in the background while you're slicing, dicing, or whatever. Thank you again for being here. And I really do appreciate every single one of you. Have an amazing, beautiful Sunday. Take good care of yourself and your family. Bye-bye.